Welcome to Goose Island's Brewed for Food education series. My name is Jesse Valenciana, and welcome to Meet Jesse.
Meet Jesse.
Today, I'm going to teach you how to get that grill going for this Memorial Day weekend. One of the most important things we're going to start off with is the cleanliness of your grill. The last person that used this grill didn't clean it. There's a bunch of charcoal and dust down here. So you want to make sure all the charcoal and dust is gone, because if you've got too much charcoal, it's going to clog up your vents, and you always have to have vents open. It keeps the heat circulating and the air circulating, feeding the heat. First and foremost, get yourself some lighter fluid. I'm just kidding, this shit is terrible. It tastes like napalm. What you do want is a chimney. Now, grilling is an investment, so these may be about 20 bucks to store, but it's well worth it. And your food won't taste like a gasoline station. So when you go to the local store and you forget your bag from home and you feel guilty when they give you these paper bags, invite them over for a barbecue and show them what you do with the paper bags. I like to make these paper snakes.
Snakes?
Nice and tight.
Snakes.
This is how you get a nice fire going. You flip over your chimney and your snakes, your paper snakes, get stuffed in here.
I know I heard that name, snakes, before. I don't know no snakes.
Now, newspapers are a dying industry, but you can help with that by buying some newspaper to use to light your charcoal. So what I do is put my newspaper in the middle. Now, here's what it should look like underneath. So if you're wondering what charcoal to use, I actually use a combination of both lump charcoal and charcoal briquettes. Lump charcoal is nice because it burns fast and really hot. So what I do in my chimney, the bottom layer will be lump charcoal. So that will be the first charcoal to light up. It'll be nice and hot, and it'll get your briquettes going. Briquettes are good because they actually last longer, where the lump charcoal will burn fast and hot, but not for as long as your briquettes. So you light the chimney from underneath, right in the middle, get that newspaper burning. So you want that burning for about 15-20 minutes until you start seeing a really nice white ashy layer on your charcoal. Today I'm going to show you how to cook using indirect heat. A very useful tool is these charcoal baskets. We're going to evenly distribute the charcoal amongst both baskets. So now what you want to do is let the charcoal sit there for a couple of minutes to get your grates nice and hot. And once the grates get nice and hot, you can actually start scrubbing off the gunk that builds up from all the grilling you've been doing. So now our charcoal's in the grill, and you want to wait a few minutes. And when you've got that time, you spend it drinking beer.
Borracho.
One very important thing is to make sure to always have your vents open. If your vents are not open and they're closed, you end up suffocating your fire. And when you suffocate your fire, charcoals go out and you can't make that steak. So the charcoal's been going for a bit, the grates are nice and hot, and all that gunk that's been on there has softened up. And now we can actually scrape it off with evidence to really scrape it off. Once you've scraped off all the gunk on the grill, you want to re-lubricate the grates. So what I use, just some veggie oil, or if you're fancy, you want to use a grapeseed oil or peanut oil, something that has a higher smoking point. So what I do is just get some paper towels, a little bit of oil, and quickly put it over the grates that you're going to be using to cook over. So I've got two really nice New York strip steaks. New York strip steak, nice and sexy New York strip steaks that I'm going to throw on the grill. So we've got two heat zones. We've got heat on two sides, and in the middle we have no heat. So that's two heat zones. And then when we close it, the heat is going to circulate in there. So what we want to do is to get those nice sear marks on the steak, is put the steak directly over your charcoal. You just let it sit there for about, I'm gonna do like 3 minutes. And to get those nice grill marks, nice sear marks, after 3 minutes, we shift it about 45 degrees. So you get these nice crosses. So after you turn it 45 degrees, just let it sit there. These are about maybe like a ½ inch thick steak. So the best way to tell if your steak is done is, I'm just kidding. I use a thermometer because I'm not a savage and I don't want salmonella. So invest. I got this really fancy thermometer, easy read. So we're gonna let it sit for a bit, and then we're gonna flip it over and do the same thing. My ideal temperature for this steak, this size, is about 140 degrees. So I keep on checking now that I flipped it over to see where we're at with it. So we're at about 100 degrees right now. Steaks like this don't need to be fussed with. I just add a little bit of kosher salt on top and some pepper. All right, we've hit the temperature that we want, so we're gonna remove the steaks. Right, so we've taken the steaks off the grill. They're on our plate. Give them about 10 minutes, let them rest. If you cut into them right now, you'll lose all the delicious juices that make this steak the delicious piece of meat that it is. So, if you like the recipe, check it out below. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Cheers.